In the heart of a beautiful country, there was a small but once beautiful town called Riverside. Surrounded by green hills and a flowing river, Riverside was once famous for its fresh air, sparkling streets, and colorful gardens. Visitors used to come from all over to experience the beauty and peace of Riverside. However, with time, things changed. People became busier with their lives and started to ignore the importance of keeping their town clean. Garbage began to pile up on the sidewalks. The gardens turned dry and lifeless. The once clear river became muddy and smelled bad. Animals stopped visiting the river, and even the birds found other places to sing their morning songs. Tourists stopped coming, and Riverside slowly lost its charm. Disease and sadness spread throughout the town. People complained about the conditions, but no one made any effort to change things. Among the town's many residents was a young boy named Armin. Armin was just 14 years old, but he loved his town deeply. Every day on his way to school, he would notice the trash lying around and feel sad. He had often heard stories from his grandfather about the old Riverside where streets shone like glass and gardens smelled of fresh flowers. Armin dreamed of bringing those days back. One evening, after a heavy rain, Armin walked past the park and saw how terrible it looked. The benches were broken, papers and plastic bags floated in puddles, and the air smelled rotten. That night he could not sleep. He kept thinking about what he could do to help. Finally, he decided he would start with himself. If no one else cared, he would still do his part. The next morning before school, Armin woke up early, took a large garbage bag, and went to the park. He started picking up trash. It was dirty, and at first it smelled terrible. But he did not give up. He filled one bag, then another. As he worked, a few people walking by stared at him. Some laughed and whispered, "What difference will this boy make?" Others simply shook their heads and walked away. But Armin ignored them. Every morning before school and every evening after homework, he cleaned a little more. Within a week, the park began to look different. The grass was visible again. The path became clear. Some children who had stopped visiting the park started coming back to play. Seeing this, Armin felt more encouraged. Soon, Armin's actions caught the attention of his school principal, Mr. Thomas. Mr. Thomas invited Armin to speak at the school assembly. Nervously but proudly, Armin stood in front of the students and said, "If we want to live in a clean and happy town, we must take responsibility. It starts with small steps. We must stop waiting for someone else to do it." His speech touched many hearts. That very week, the school started a Clean Riverside campaign. Every student was assigned a small area to clean, streets, parks, or even their own yards. The students also made colorful posters with messages like, "Keep Riverside clean" and "Cleanliness is happiness," and placed them around the town. The change was slow at first, but it was real. Seeing the young students working so hard, many parents felt inspired to join them. Shopkeepers placed dustbins outside their shops. The mayor of Riverside donated funds to repair broken benches, repaint old walls, and plant new trees. Every Sunday, families gathered together for a community cleanup day. It became a celebration rather than a chore. Music played, food stalls appeared, and cleaning turned into a joyful event. As months passed, Riverside transformed completely. The river became clean again, full of fish and birds. The gardens were alive with colors. The air smelled fresh, and visitors started coming back. Local businesses thrived once more, and Riverside regained its lost fame. Armin became a hero in his town. Newspapers wrote about him. Television channels interviewed him. But Armin stayed humble. Whenever someone praised him, he smiled and said, "I just did what I knew was right." Cleanliness is not the job of one person. It is the responsibility of every person. Through this journey, the people of Riverside learned many important lessons. They understood that a clean environment leads to a healthy and happy life. They realized that even small efforts, when multiplied, can bring about big change. Most importantly, They understood that true pride in one's home, town, or country begins with keeping it clean. Years later, when Armin grew up and became a famous environmental scientist, he often told the story of how one boy's simple action changed an entire town. He would say, "Never think you are too small to make a difference. Change starts when you decide to act." Because of Armin, Riverside remained a model town for generations to come, teaching everyone that cleanliness is not just about looking good. It is about living better.